Good morning class. Welcome to grade 5 maths. How are you all doing today? We are learning about decimals in this chapter. Today, let's learn about like and unlike decimals. So what are like decimals? Like decimals are those which have an equal number of digits after the decimal point. You can see some examples here. The decimal numbers 1.32, 2.15, 7.89, etc. All these numbers have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 2 digits after the decimal point. So such decimal numbers are called like decimals. Now what could be unlike decimals? Unlike decimals are those which have an unequal number of digits after the decimal point. Just like these numbers given here. 2.32, 7.1, 50.038, etc. In the first number, there are 2 digits after the decimal point. In the second number, there is only 1 digit after the decimal point. And in the third number, there are 1, 2, 3. 3 digits after the decimal point. And remember, whenever you are reading a decimal number, you always read the digits one by one after the decimal point. Like 2.32, 7.1, 50.038. Hope you are clear with this. Now let's learn how we can convert an unlike decimal to a like decimal. So what are unlike decimals? The decimal numbers which have an unequal number of digits after the decimal point. So to convert unlike decimals to like decimals, what you can do? You can add zeros to the extreme right of the given decimal number. Adding zeros to the extreme right of the given decimal numbers will not change their value. So it is the same when you say 7.1, 7.10, 7.1000, it will not change the value of the decimal number from 7.1. Hope you are clear with this. Now, let's see one question here. Convert 1.7, 2.31 and 7.325 to like decimals. So, you are given a few decimal numbers here and you are asked to convert these decimal numbers to like decimals. So, we know like decimals are those which have the same number of or equal number of digits after the decimal point. So, look at these decimal numbers given here. The first one, 1.7, it has 1 digit after the decimal point. And the second number, 2.31, it has 2 digits after the decimal point. And in the third number, 7.325, it has 1, 2, 3. 3 digits after the decimal point. So what is the maximum number of digits after the decimal point in the given numbers? It is 3. The third number has 3 digits after the decimal point. But the second one has 2 and the first one has 1. So how can we make them like decimals? We can convert these given decimals or unlike decimals as like decimals by adding zeros to the extreme right, so that the number of digits in all the given numbers will be equal to 3. Why? Because there are 3 digits after the decimal point and 3 is the maximum number of digits after the decimal point in the given numbers. I hope you are clear with this now. Now, how can we add zeros? The first number 1.7 and we have to make the number of digits after the decimal point in this one to 3 decimal places because there are a maximum of 3 digits in the given numbers after the decimal point. So 1.7 can be written as 1.700. We added 2 zeros to the extreme right. So now 1, 2, 3. There are 3 digits after the decimal point. Now, what about 2.31? How many zeros should we add? We can add just 1 zero. Now it becomes 2.310. Now both these numbers have the same number of digits after the decimal point and there are 3 digits after the decimal point. Now look at the given question. After adding zeros to the extreme right, all the given decimal numbers have the same number of digits after the decimal point. 1.700, 2.310 and 7.325. Now they have become like decimals. Clear? We'll do an activity now. This is from your textbook, page number 85, question number 3 of exercise 5.2. Convert the following into like decimals. There are 3 set of questions given here. We can do this as an activity now. So please pause the video, finish the activity and come back. Hope you are done with this. Now let's discuss the answers. The first question, question A, 0.8, 0.81, 0.719. And what is the answer? When you convert to like decimals, what are the numbers? See, the numbers are 0.8, 0.81 and 0.719. So, the maximum number of digits after the decimal point in the given set of numbers is how much? 3. See, 0.719 has 3 digits after the decimal point. So, let's make the number of digits after the decimal point in the first and second number also as 3 by adding zeros to the extreme right. So, 0.8 becomes 0.800 and 0.81 becomes 0.810 and 0.719 as it is. So, now all the decimal numbers have the same number of digits after the decimal point. Now, what about question B? How can we change them to like decimals? 2.3, 2.03 and 2.003. So, the maximum number of digits after the decimal point is 1, 2, 3. 3 digits. So, let's make the number of digits in the other numbers also as 3. So, we can rewrite 2.3 as 2.300. We have added zeros to the extreme right. Now, 2.03 can be written as 2.030 and then the third number 2.003. Now all the numbers are the same number of digits after the decimal point. Now question C, 71.23, 68.13 and 5.731. So the first two numbers have only 2 digits after the decimal point, whereas in the third number there are 3 digits. So let's make the number of digits after the decimal point as 3 in all the cases. So it is 71.230, 68.130 and then 5.731 as it is. So now we have converted the given set of decimal numbers into like decimals. I hope you are clear with this now. Now we will see how we can compare and order decimals. Let's see that with an example. Compare 48.321 and 32.175. Look at the given decimals. Note that they are like decimals. They have the same number of digits after the decimal point. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So they are like decimals. So to compare like decimals, what do? We have to first convert the whole parts. And which are the whole parts in the given numbers? 48.321, the whole part is 48 and the decimal part is 321. In 32.175, the whole part is 32 and the decimal part is 175. So let's compare the whole parts first. So comparing this 48 and 32, and which is greater? 48 is greater than 32. So we can write 48.321 is greater than 32.175. Clear? Now let's look at one more question. Compare 48.326 and 48.175. Now these numbers also are like decimals. Both have the same number of digits after the decimal point. Now look at the whole parts. The whole part in the first number and the second number is the same. It is 48. So since the whole part is the same, how do we compare? We have to compare the first digit to the right of the decimal point. So which is the first digit to the right of the decimal point in the first number? In the first number, the digit to the right of the decimal point is 3, and in the second number, it is 1. So let's compare 3 and 1. So when you compare 3 and 1, which is greater? 3 is greater than 1. And the whole part is already the same. So since we compared the first digits after the decimal point and we got the digit in the first number is greater than the digit in the second number, or because 3 is greater than 1, we can write 48.326 is greater than 48.175. Clear? Now, compare 48.32 and 48.325. Look at the given decimals. Are they like decimals? The first number has 2 digits after the decimal point and the second number has 3 digits after the decimal point. So they are unlike decimals. How do we compare unlike decimals? So the first step is to convert the unlike decimals to like decimals by adding 0 or enough number of zeros to the extreme right of the given numbers. So converting the unlike to the like decimals, we can write 48.32 as 48.320. Now this 48.320 and 48.325 have the same number of digits after the decimal point. Now let's compare the whole parts. The whole part is the same in both the given numbers. It is 48 in both the cases. So what do? We proceed to the first digit to the right of the decimal point. So that is 3 in both the cases. What do? We proceed to the second digit after the decimal point. That is 2. That is also the same in both the numbers. So we proceed to the third digit to the right of the decimal point. So that is 0 in the first number, whereas it is 5 in the second number, and which is greater? 5 is greater and 0 is smaller. So we can write 48.320 is less than 48.325, or from the question we can write 48.32 less than 48.325. Clear? Now let's see a shortcut method for comparing decimal numbers. So when you are given some decimal numbers, the first process for comparing is to convert them to like decimals. Always make sure you are comparing like decimals. So once you have converted all the given decimal numbers to like decimals, you can just remove the decimal point from the numbers and then compare the numbers just like you compare whole numbers. Let's see that with examples. Look at this question given here. Arrange the following decimal numbers in ascending order using the shortcut method. And you are given 4 decimal numbers here: 4.82, 4.932, 3.28 and 2.97. See, the number of digits after the decimal point in the given numbers are not the same. They are unlike decimals. So what is the first step? The first step is to change them all to like decimals. So in one of the numbers you have 3 digits after the decimal point, whereas in the other numbers there are only 2 digits after the decimal point. So let's make the number of digits is equal to 3, the maximum number of digits after the decimal point in all the numbers. So changing them to like decimals, we get the first number as 4.820, 4.932, 3.280 and 2.970. So the next step for the shortcut method is to remove the decimal point so that we can compare the numbers. So after removing the decimal point, we get the numbers as 4820, 4932, 3280 and 2970. Now let's compare them easily. So which is the smallest among these 4 numbers? It is 2970. The next comes 3280. Then comes 4820 and then comes 4932. So ordering them, we get the ascending order as 2970 less than, 3280 less than, 4820 less than, 4932. So let's write the ascending order based on the question. So let's write the corresponding decimal numbers here. So the ascending order will be 2.97 less than 3.28 less than 4.82 less than 4.932. I hope you are clear with this. Now, always remember, when you are comparing decimal numbers, do not ever compare the decimal parts of the numbers first. The first thing you have to do is to change them to like decimals and compare the whole parts first. If the whole parts are the same, proceed by comparing the first digit to the right of the decimal number, and you proceed one by one of the digits. If you are comparing 4.37 and 4.5, the whole parts is the same, 4 in both the cases. But the number of digits after the decimal point is 2 in this case and 1 in the second number. So first change them to like decimals. So 4.37 and 4.50. Then remove the decimal point and then you can compare. So it would be 437 and 450, which is less 437. So it would be 437 less than 450, or the decimal numbers 4.37 is less than 4.5. Clear? Now, children, you have to go through the topic like and unlike decimals and comparing and ordering of decimals in page number 84 and 85 and also 86. And then you have to complete the questions from exercise 5.3 in your notebook. You can also do the try this activity in page number 87. So once you are done with all the activities, we can take a picture and send us to Teams. So that's all for today, children. We'll meet in the next class with a new topic. Until then, bye.